If there's a video game out there, no matter how small or obscure it is, you can bet someone has found a way to make cheats for it. While this is a scourge plaguing big online multiplayer games in particular, using cheats has become a surefire way to gain an audience on live streaming sites. All you have to do is figure out what cheat you want to use, pretend you have godlike skills, and watch as paying viewers come flooding in. But if you make a mistake, you're exposed for the entire world to see. And the internet is not kind to cheaters. With that said, let's dive into even more streamers and gamers embarrassingly exposed for cheating. Perplex. Call of Duty is one of the best-selling video game franchises on the planet, but it's also home to hundreds of thousands of cheaters who plague the servers every day. Now, you'd expect these to all be pathetic preteens desperate to fit in with better players, but controversially, some of the ones who use the cheats are the better players, as Perplex proved back in April 2022. Ranked as the number 2 player in Call of Duty Vanguard, Perplex was streaming his game on Twitch when, all of a sudden, this happened.
I picked up a fucking pistol, bro.
Damn, I'm shit on that kid, cutie. Yo, caught it. Damn, why does my game always crash and shit?
My bad.
Did you catch that? Let's rewind. Don't blink or you might miss it. There. Those telltale red boxes. Yeah, sorry man, that glitch just revealed that you were definitely using Wallhacks. Wallhacks, or ESP hacks, allow players to locate their opponents through things like terrain and walls, giving them a hugely unfair advantage. Now, I'd have expected this kind of basic hack from an unseasoned 10-year-old, but Vanguard's second best player? In a desperate attempt to save face, Perplex apologized profusely to the community and claimed he'd only recently downloaded the cheats to get camo skins for his gun. And yet the entire world saw he was actively using the wall hacks. I mean, we're not being stupid. I can play this clip as many times as we need to. Those are wall hacks, skins or no skins. He attached screen grabs to his apology of the cheats he downloaded to prove he hadn't been using them long, but his audience weren't buying it. He was swiftly banned from Call of Duty and Twitch, and, in a move synonymous with cheaters that have been caught, deleted his social media accounts. Well, he might be gone, but it makes you wonder, if Vanguard's number 2 was cheating, what does that tell you about number 1? Mr. Pixel. The only thing more satisfying than a cheater getting exposed is a cheater accidentally exposing themselves. Case in point, let's take a look at the French streamer Mr. Pixel. Streaming his games on Twitch and Facebook to more than 12,000 followers, he came under fire in 2020 for some of his suspicious gameplay in Call of Duty. People found multiple accounts of his, some with low kill-to-death averages of 2.6, while others were as high as 25. That didn't make sense. So, during one stream from 2020 where he showed his viewers a camera shot of his entire setup, one follower innocuously asked him to hit his insert button. He did, but nothing happened. But as he switched back to his regular streaming view, the viewer clarified he wanted him to hit another button as well. And that's when it all kicked off.
Ah, insert! Le bouton insert! Pour le truc en fait de la souris.
Oh, that was smart. The viewer tricked him into hitting a keyboard shortcut that brought up any hidden programs he was using. And right there, for a split second, our old friend Engine Owning flashed up on his screen. Engine Owning is a cheat subscription service offering multiple, lazy little hacks like wall hacks and aimbots, the latter of which Mr. Pixel had, unsurprisingly, set to on. Suddenly, that 25 kill-to-death ratio makes much more sense. He tried his best to play on and explain it was just a glitch. Despite that being the worst excuse since Clara, Mr. Pixel still streams on Twitch to this day under the new alias of Tauntaun Pixel. Doesn't matter how many times you change your name, bud. Won't change the fact you got caught. Kenji. Hey, you know the only thing that's better than watching a wannabe big league streamer exposing their own cheats on the live stream is? A semi-pro doing the exact same thing. Back in March 2022, Kenji, a Call of Duty Vanguard competitive player, was accused of using cheats in a 2v2 match. He appeared to be using Wallhacks to locate his opponents, giving him a hugely unfair advantage. Kenji wasted no time trying to clear his name of the allegations, and so set up a monitor cam to prove to the world that his godlike locator abilities were all natural. But during the 2022 Checkmate gaming competition, this didn't work in his favor. See those yellow boxes on his screen, highlighting his opponent's locations? Yeah, that's a textbook wall hack. I mean, the idiot streamed himself using hacks while trying to prove he wasn't using hacks. Man, the sheer lack of brain cells involved in this is just spectacular. Kenji clearly forgot the world could see him and slipped back into his old habits of using wall hacks to pretend he was good. He was immediately booted from Checkmate Gaming and quickly nuked his streaming accounts, along with all his social media. At least he remembered how to turn those off. Hopefully you won't need any wall hacks to see those like and subscribe buttons down below. Hit them up if you want to see more from this series. All done? Great. Now what have we got next? Davscar. Back in July 2021, Twitch Rivals kicked off, putting European streamers against one another in Call of Duty Warzone lobbies for a shot at a $75,000 prize pool. But once the game started, viewers noticed something unusual about the play of a Czech Twitch partner by the name of Davscar.
Počkej mě. Jsou od tebe 20 metrů, nebo 50.
Jo, za mnou.
Jo, viděl jsem. Poběž. Knock.
Tady.
Knock.
Mám málo. No, dozad. Ještě dozad tam.
Knock.
Notice how Davscar here keeps a perfect lock on each enemy's head, even as his crosshairs pass through solid objects? Yeah, that ain't right. Not to mention all the precise headshots he used to eliminate an entire team. In an attempt to prove his innocence, Davscar turned his camera toward his desktop to show his hands and screen. It seems he took this opportunity to turn off any hacks he had on, which became very clear very quickly.
Můžu zkusit summit, kámo, nebo ne, to tam někdo bude.
Suddenly, unable to aim through walls, he was eliminated pretty much immediately. How embarrassing. But the community wasn't done there. They went digging and found Davscar had multiple accounts, and the one he was using to compete in the tournament with had an utterly insane headshot rate of 66%. For contrast, the top-ranked players in all of Warzone sit around 20%. If it wasn't clear he was using an aimbot before, it definitely was now. After moderators reviewed the footage, Davscar was swiftly kicked from the tournament and banned from Twitch. But for only a week. He's still streaming today, but he's shifted his sights onto games other than Call of Duty. I guess he only had his aim lock set on that $75,000 prize pool. It's Timmy. Have you ever heard of smurfing? It's where high-ranked players create new accounts to play in low-rank lobbies in competitive mode. This helps a smurf dominate in ranked matches to make them look good on stream, boosting their fragile egos while ruining the experience for other players. Sadly, smurfing is a huge issue in most mass multiplayer online games, and pro players like It's Timmy aren't helping. The prominent streamer is a well-known, highly ranked player across multiple first-person shooter games. But he took his ace abilities a little too far when he tried to complete a marathon stream of a Smurf account in Valorant, where he attempted to grind his way from the lowest to the highest rank in the quickest time possible. But back in November 2021, Valorant started to take the smurfing issue seriously, something Timmy found out mid-stream.
10 seconds left.
What? Hello? Hello?
He went on to explain he'd reached out to Riot's games developers who'd confirmed he'd been banned for smurfing. But his agency claimed he shouldn't be banned until after the run finished because marathoning like this was a gray area in the rulebook. An hour later, his account was back up and he began the grind again. So let me get this straight, Riot. It's not okay to smurf unless you're a big streamer pulling in big numbers, in which case you can do whatever you want. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that logic one bit. But what do you think about it? Let me know down in the comments. The good admin strikes back. When I say the good admin, I think most of you already know who I mean. Yep, we're pulling the spotlight back on to Camomo, the Rust admin who knows how to hilariously deal with cheaters causing havoc on his servers. Back at the end of 2021, Camomo caught a cheater who appeared to be using all the cheats in the book, including an ESP hack. In enclosed spaces, he'd senselessly spin around, clearly trying to locate other players through the walls of his base. Luckily, Camomo had just the thing to help teach this guy a valuable lesson: a landmine. And not one, but two.
How are you playing a server and there's a landmine behind you and you don't question it? Like,
But sometimes not even two landmines is enough to teach these cheaters a lesson, so Camomo had to roll out the welcome mat outside this guy's illegally made base, which was made entirely of landmines.
that look down.
Honestly, I could watch Camomo deal with dingbats all day. If you aren't subscribed to him already, be sure to check him out on YouTube and Twitch. Oh, and don't even try to cheat in Rust, obviously. Sophia slays Ramirez. There are a lot of subtle ways gamers can cheat in mass multiplayer online games that don't directly involve them hacking, but they're considered cheats nonetheless. And professional Valorant player Sophia slays Ramirez discovered this back in September 2021. Playing for pro team Polaris, Slays' account was suddenly suspended during the Valorant Champions Tour Game Changers North America Series 3 event. Woo! And she was banned from all affiliated events for 3 months. Valorant's developer, Riot Games, accused her of boosting, also known as bussing, where she'd knowingly played alongside cheaters in a game to ride their advantages and boost her own scores. But Slays didn't like these allegations and set out on a social media tirade. She insisted that she'd never knowingly played with a cheater, and that someone in Riot Games' department must be targeting her unfairly. In response to this, Riot Games brought out the big guns and provided a statement that dissected her account mercilessly. Now, in Valorant, if someone is detected using cheats, the match is automatically terminated, and a big red screen ends the game, informing players that hacking has been detected. It's pretty hard to miss. In their statement, Riot revealed that on September 20th, 2021, Slays queued with an active cheater for 10 games, winning 8 of them. The cheater was banned for cheating during the second game, sending all players, including Slays, the red screen notification. Slays and the cheater then logged onto different accounts and played 8 more games. Also, in the 28 days prior, they noted that Slays had consistently queued and re-queued with the same cheater after receiving the red screen. And then, to hammer the final nails in the coffin, they revealed that 77% of her competitive matchmaking ranking came from games played in duo with an active cheater. And 60% of her competitive matches were played while duo queued with an active cheater. After being so thoroughly schooled, Polaris kicked her from the team. She nuked all her streaming and social media channels and went quiet. But then, 3 months later, she popped back up on Twitch and Twitter, apologizing for her toxic behavior and promising to do better. Well, what do you think? Does she deserve a second chance? Let me know your opinions down in the comments below. Cody Miller. For this next cheater, we have to bring out the history books and rewind all the way back to August 2005. This is when speedrunning, the sport of completing a game or level in the fastest time possible, was just emerging. And it was then that a speedrunner known as Cody Miller claimed to have completed the game Halo 2 on the hardest difficulty setting possible, Legendary, in just 3 hours and 17 minutes without dying. Considering how early this was in speedrunning's history, it was a massively impressive feat that secured him a spot in the 2007 Guinness Book of World Records and gained him fame in the speedrunning community. So much so that in 2011 he was invited to an official Awesome Games Done Quick event to showcase his incredible speedrunning ability live on stream, and that's where his ruse fell apart. Despite supposedly setting the record, Cody repeatedly got lost. He didn't use key tactics and ended up having to lower the difficulty down.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Oh, boo, I hope people aren't disappointed.
Oh, but not once. Twice.
Yeah, we need other people in the interest of time.
In the end, it took him 4 hours to complete the game at normal difficulty, more than twice the usual speedrun time expected for that difficulty setting. Cody was universally accused of faking his original 3-hour 17-minute run by stitching parts of multiple runs together to make him seem much better at the game than he actually was. While he never refuted the allegations made against him, his time was later unceremoniously scrubbed from the official speedrun leaderboards. Well, if he did splice it up, that'd make him less Master Chief and more Master Cheat. Connor Ace. So we've established that performing live speedruns at a Games Done Quick event is a big deal in the speedrunning community. But Cody isn't the only one who's believed to have faked it till they made it there. Back in 2019, Connor Ace submitted a world record run of the game Cluster Truck to get into the Summer Games Done Quick 2019 event. This bumped another speedrunner, Ronan Pawn, out of attendance. However, at SGDQ, Connor's live run was about a minute over the estimated time. That doesn't sound like much, but it's steep in the world of speedrunning. More to that, Ronan Pawn noticed that despite claiming to have a world record run, Connor hadn't submitted it to official speedrun leaderboards, which he'd done with all of his previous world record runs. Eventually, he tracked down an unlisted run of Connor's that matched the world-beating submission time, which was uploaded during the 1-week submission time frame for the event. Now, in Cluster Truck, there's a tiny grappling hook glitch where a little icon shows in the middle of the screen. It rotates at a consistent speed throughout, and lag doesn't make a difference to it, so it spins consistently throughout a complete run. What Ronan Pawn found when he analyzed Connor's gameplay through was that this icon's rotation was out of sync at multiple points, and there was no logical explanation for it. It was obvious to him that Connor had spliced multiple parts of different runs together, and Ronan Pawn claimed this fake run was what he'd submitted to SGDQ. Connor publicly hit back at these allegations, admitting that, yes, the run was splice, but he'd never submitted it to SGDQ. In leaked conversations with other members of the community, though, he confirmed that this was, in fact, the run he'd submitted. With that being the case, the speedrunning community called for him to publicly list the run that he did submit to SGDQ, which he never did. As the controversy mounted, all of Connor's previous runs and records were rejected from the official Cluster Truck speedrun leaderboards, and he retired from Cluster Truck speedrunning altogether. Forget Cluster Truck. This whole sad saga is a cluster. America. There's no question about it, Call of Duty has a serious cheater problem. And in August 2021, Activision went on a ban hammer spree, kicking as many as 500,000 cheaters off their servers. If they'd been quicker about it, they might have caught streamer America in their crosshairs. In January of the same year, this player took part in an official Twitch Rivals tournament and bagged a tasty $11,000 in prize winnings after coming in second place and winning the MVP title. But this high didn't last long. It was a few months later in May, a tweet thread from Warzone world record holder Sims pointed out multiple clips of America acting sus.
In Moscow, he has everybody.
I need to... Bro, this guy does not see me A side and starts pre-firing. He looks to the right a little bit for no reason. Pre-fires. And then I peek.
Pre-firing and preparing for people he clearly knows are coming? Looks like America had a few wall hacks on and was aiming at enemies through solid objects.
Don't tell me he's actually there. He actually did. He really did frame him. He followed him through the wall. No way! He really did!
Oof, that was lucky. Either that or he tracked back to get a guy he could have only known was coming by using wall hacks to spy on his location. Now, high-ranking players that use top-tier audio equipment can sometimes use the faint sound of footsteps to anticipate their opponent's location. But America was no way near this level of play. To combat the allegations, during a live stream, he allowed someone to remotely access his PC via TeamViewer, trying to prove he had nothing to hide. As you're about to see, this was the dumbest move he could have made, because this investigator went rifling through his emails. Yep, and those are emails from America to a company called Gator Cheats, showing America actively looking to buy Call of Duty cheats. Not looking good. He initially claimed he was only inquiring to buy and didn't purchase anything. However, if we pause right here, can you see that? Yeah, that email search has picked up an email that reads, "Your Rival Cheats account has been created." And Rival Cheats definitely sells Call of Duty hacks. This hole just keeps getting deeper. Ultimately, though, he never suffered any real consequences. His Twitch stream was taken down briefly, though America claimed this was for unmoderated hateful content, not cheating. So he's still running around on the COD servers, and guess what? He's now a pro player for the Atlanta FaZe Clan. Of course, it's a FaZe Clan. Why am I not surprised? Not sure why I'm not a big FaZe fan? Well, go take a look at the first part of this series, or my Influencers Caught Scamming People video, and you'll see why. The Real Geo. When Call of Duty player Faunazen, I hope I'm saying that right, was streaming back in November 2021, she noticed a player whose gameplay didn't make much sense.
Wait, they weren't even looking at me and I died. This guy's cheating.
Yeah, bullets don't work like that in Call of Duty, unless you have a certain hack on allowing you to hit enemies without aiming at them. Faunazen reported the player, called The Real Geo, and began spectating his streams to confirm her suspicions. But she wasn't the only one calling him a cheater. Someone else in his chat accused him specifically of using the magnetic bullets cheat, which is an option that can be found in engine owning. Ah yes, that old chestnut. But The Real Geo claimed he had no idea what engine owning was. I say claimed. Watch this.
Got engine owning. Okay. Oh.
Hey, don't click away so fast there, buddy. Let's take a good look at those engine-owning links in your browser that are coming up purple because you've already visited the site. And let's pay particularly close attention to that all-important purple purchase section. Not sure I expected much from someone who literally Googled Google. I guess he was using his full mental capacity to use both hands to type. With that chronic self-own, he later fully admitted to using engine owning and swiftly removed himself from the internet. Nice work, Faunazen. Francesco Codiani. Now for something a little bit different and a little less digital. Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game. Cheating in card game tournaments is almost as rampant as it is in video games, but you'd think these players would be smart enough not to cheat while their play is being live streamed to the world, right? Oh, how wrong you are. Back in March 2022, the Ludus Championship Series was streamed on Twitch. when viewers noticed that a round 1 player called Francesco Codiani was blatantly cheating repeatedly. Take a look at this. Did you catch that? This is a sleight of hand trick known as a fake shuffle. While he appears to shuffle the cards, he actually picks a card he wants from the deck and places it on top, mixing only the cards underneath. But a little more obviously later on in the match, he pulls this stunt. Watch the cards in the deck he's holding and the ones on the table. While distracting his opponent, he just swapped 2 of them over. Did he somehow forget the game was being streamed to the rest of the world, Kenji style? While this poor opponent seemed oblivious, someone eventually alerted the judges, who kicked Codiani out and banned him from all future events. To his credit, in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, the talentless bad guys use cheats all the time. So I guess, canonically, that makes Codiani a certified second-rate villain. Ah, another Gamers Caught Cheating installment complete. Can't wait to see this carefully edited and researched video ripped and uploaded onto some kid's TikTok, with some random boy pointing up to a Times Gamers Were Caught Cheating Part 47 overlay while looking shocked. Come on, guys. At least use and credit the owners of the original footage and not my edits. Maybe I should start a new series called TikTokers Caught Copying and bring up all the videos that do this and use the exact same script.
There are some gamers who are caught cheating.
I'm just kidding. Or am I? Well, until then, thanks for watching.